Hello, this is the Watchdog, and welcome back to Fun with Watches. If watches weren't fun, you'd only need one. Today we're going to review the Casio G-Shock DW5600E. Let's start with the wrist check. I'm wearing this G-Shock GD350, and Grego is wearing my Smith & Wesson 1464. Grego found a poem written by Anakin Skywalker about the years he was a slave on Tatooine and how he was never allowed any soda. It's called The Rime of the Infant Pod Racer. One line went, "Watto, Watto everywhere, and how his breath did stink. Watto, Watto everywhere, nor any pop to drink." Let's look at the watch. It comes in a pretty simple box. This box isn't much different than your basic Casio. And it comes with this little stand. This is meant to be put on the store shelf. You can put the price tag right there. So it's not one of the fancier G-Shock boxes, which come in a little hexagon. So pretty basic there. So anyway, here is the watch. This is my second G-Shock, but my first G-Shock review, as I obtained my other G-Shock, the GD350, before even starting my channel. Then I saw this 5600 on Amazon for $32, which seemed pretty reasonable for a genuine G-Shock, so I pulled the trigger. This 5600 is of the design known as the square, even though it is more rectangular. Square is a bit more catchy. This 5600 is also about as basic as a G-Shock that you can get. You do get the rugged build, shock resistance, and 200 meters water resistance that is a G-Shock requirement, but the rest of the watch is fairly basic. You don't get dual time, world time, daylight savings flag, or 24-hour time. The packaging is also fairly simple, not being any different than a low-end Casio. The watch is 37.7 millimeters if you measure at the bezel, but 43.3 millimeters if you measure at the ears. It's 48.2 millimeters lug to lug, 12.6 millimeters thick. The lug width does not apply, but it's 26 millimeters where the strap meets the case, and it tapers down to 19 at the buckle, and only weighs 53 grams on the supplied resin strap. The bezel has a rectangular octagon shape. Once again, they call this the square though. And then it says G-Shock on the bottom, and then it says protection on the top. And then we have the dial. We have the rehaut, I guess you would call this. And it has Casio, then it says illuminator, then water 200 meters resistant. And gives just all the other basic G-Shock stuff. Tells you what the pushers do. And then we have the digital display. We have the time. And then it says PM because it is in the afternoon. Then you have the day of the week. And then the month and day. And usually watches, if you press this button here, it'll toggle to 24-hour. But there is no 24-hour toggle, so that's kind of disappointing. Press the mode button, and it puts you into alarm mode, countdown timer, stopwatch, and that's it. No more features than that. Once again, you don't get dual time or anything like that, or world time. Then you have the other pushers. This little pusher here is the adjust pusher. This is how you set the watch. And as you can see, this pusher barely sticks out at all. I think they did that on purpose so you don't accidentally push it. I don't think that's an issue because it's hard enough to push the regular pushers, let alone this indented one. But if you do have to push it, you have to use a finger now because otherwise you're not going to push it. If you see, I'm having a heck of a time. I'll use my thumb. All right. See, I just put it in set mode. And that's how you put it in set mode. And yes, you don't have to set the watch very often. But this is also how you reset the stopwatch. So if you're going to use the stopwatch and you want to reset it, you got to use this button too. And so that's quite difficult. Then, of course, here's the light. I'll do a better display of the light later on in the review. Then the crystal is acrylic. And then the case is resin. Casio likes to use resin. Resin is a vegetable oil based plastic and not a petroleum based plastic like regular plastic. And this is fairly thin for a G-Shock. Once again, look at my other G-Shock and look how much bigger that is. And then we have the case back. The case back is held on by 4 little tiny Phillip head screws. And then it gives all the relevant information. On a Casio, on the case back, when you see a number with a square around it, that's the movement. And once again, this is about as simple as a movement as you can get. And then we have the strap. The strap is resin, and you're going to need, you can't replace it with just any old strap. It will have to be compatible with this watch. I did get a G-Shock strap kit from Vario the other day, so I will try that. Then we have the buckle. The buckle is pretty simple. Yeah, at least it's metal, but it's really a no frills buckle. I guess it does the job, but it's kind of disappointing considering, I don't know, maybe I just have high expectations, but I expect a G-Shock to be nicer than your basic Casio, and this one really isn't. And then we have the keeper, one keeper floating. Here's the watch and my 7.5-inch wrist. Yeah, it looks nice. It wears nice. It's a very comfortable watch. It's not very heavy. And I have, looks like, I have 5 notches left. So you should be able to wear this if you have a big wrist, no problem. And here's the watch on my Vario canvas strap for a G-Shock. These little links here are part of the kit that comes with the strap. Otherwise, you couldn't put a canvas strap on this. I don't know. I think the head of this watch is a little small for this strap. I think this strap was designed for bigger G-Shocks. I mean, it looks nice, but the head just looks a little small. And the reason why I clicked the sponsored button on this video is because Vario gave me the strap. So technically something free from Vario, sponsored, appears in this video. But the G-Shock is not. I bought that myself. Here we are in the loom room. This watch doesn't have loom, but it does have a backlight. And it has a pretty good backlight, so I just wanted to show it to you in perfect darkness. Some lower end Casios have really bad backlights, but this one is nice and even. What I like about this watch, it's an iconic watch at a very reasonable price. It's very comfortable and wearable, and I like this even backlight. What are my gripes and groans? Fairly simple movement, doesn't have a lot of features. The pushers are very difficult to push, especially this adjust one. And it's kind of underwhelming compared to my other G-Shock. Do I recommend this watch? That all depends on what you want. If you want a simple G-Shock that doesn't cost a lot of money and isn't a huge gargantuan thing, then this one will do you just fine. But it is kind of underwhelming compared to like a G-Shock like this, which is just huge and has all kinds of features and just seems more G-Shocky. Well, thank you for watching my review of the G-Shock 5600E, and I will be back with another review. Be sure and like and subscribe to my channel. And I do not have an affiliate link for this watch, but I will leave the link on Amazon where I bought it from as a convenience. Bye.